Welcome to the Mike and JD Show YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I want you to do me a big favor before you check out this clip. I want you to hit the like button. I want you to throw in a comment and make sure you're a subscriber to this channel. And then I want you to share this video with your friends. Help us defeat the algorithm. And then if you like this content and you appreciate this content, please head over to patreon.com/the Mike and JD Show and support the show. That is how we actually get funded to be able to do this. So we thank you very much for being here. And now enjoy the clip. All right, so I found this one, and I think we're going to close the show on this because we're going to take some time with this one. Misinformation leaks to one Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso. Okay, first of all, Sports Illustrated just last week fired everybody, and they didn't fucking fire this idiot. I would have assumed that this guy, he must be doing this for free in order for him to continue to write his shitty little column. But anyway.
Would it surprise you?
Yeah. So yesterday, Sports Illustrated, this is like this was a big story yesterday, by the way, said The Rock will face Roman Reigns. This was a top story in Sports Illustrated. So he said that coming up at WrestleMania, The Rock is going to face Roman Reigns and Cody is now going to face CM Punk. So he said with The Rock facing Roman Reigns, where does this leave Cody Rhodes? Well, multiple sources close to WWE head of creative Paul Triple H Levesque have indicated that Rhodes will not headline this year's event, nor will he finish his story at WrestleMania. But there is still a new chapter to write with a marquee matchup to be had against CM Punk. He also goes on to state that Gunther will win the Royal Rumble and challenge Seth Rollins. These are very specific things. And then today, so yesterday, when we texted our friend who shall remain nameless, what did he say about Cody and Cody and CM Punk?
'Twas bullshit.
Twas bullshit. So we heard it was bullshit. And then as it turns out, today, Barrasso retracted the story and is now predicting that Cody is on track to win the Rumble and finish the story at WrestleMania. He also stated it's possible The Rock waits for the Netflix deal to start to challenge Roman and at Mania in front of a live worldwide audience. And he goes on to state, and I quote, "I reported spoilers for Sports Illustrated yesterday regarding the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania 40. I reported what was detailed to me by previously reliable sources." Kevin Patrick. It appears to be that this was a deliberate attempt at misinformation or misinformation that is being spread through WWE itself. I apologize for the errors in yesterday's report. When posting these reports, the entirety of the information needs to be accurate. Is WWE trying to plug some leaks? And is it weird that Kevin Patrick got fired on the same day?
It's weird.
Is that just me connecting dots here?
One, I don't think Kevin Patrick was very good at his job. So
no, he wasn't.
It's an interesting coincidence. That being said, how do you know this isn't misinformation? WWE's been doing this for decades. Like, I mean, I still, until I'm shown differently, why wouldn't the main event of WrestleMania be The Rock and Roman Reigns? That's the biggest match the company can put out. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it is. And I'm not going to believe otherwise until I'm proven wrong. And well, I'm not going to watch the show anyway, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. I didn't seem. I'll say this: Cody is not as hot as he was a year ago.
No, he's still pretty. Not as hot. Yeah, he's still hot. They could heat him up though. Like he's not that far off. And that segment he had with CM Punk this past Monday was pretty good. Somebody did me a favor by releasing just that segment of Raw on Twitter, the whole 13-minute thing, and I was like, hey, got what I need, buddy. That was great. But so they do this every year, and I did. So we were in our little group chat, and someone's like, I don't think any of that's true. I think it might be bullshit. And we're like, but it's Sports Illustrated. When Barrasso gets a story about WWE, it's usually like it might as well be coming from like Nick Khan himself, right? Because they use Sports Illustrated. Like Sports Illustrated stopped being journalism a long time ago. That's why they just fucking fired everybody. Nobody reads it. But when Barrasso reports stuff, it's just because it's like what we've accused the media of being before as just PR. It was like essentially a PR release. So I thought, okay, maybe they want this stuff out there. I think maybe somebody with like a gambling problem wanted this stuff out there just to get the odds up on Roman and down on Cody, so he can actually put a bet on Cody and be able to win. I don't know. And WWE is a part of the whole gambling system now too. So
which is weird. Gambling on pro wrestling is something I'll never understand. It's like gambling on a movie. Like,
it's
I
like
think
oh,
Frodo's gonna throw the ring in the Mordor. I got $30 on it. Like, it's just
have
so
you ever
bizarre.
watched Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald and Artie Lang?
Oh, it's been a long time, but I saw
So,
it a long time
so
ago.
so there's a scene in that movie where so Norm Macdonald, his job is to like do dirty deeds and do them cheap. He gets
Done
paid to
dirt
actually
cheap.
go yeah, he gets paid to go pull pranks on people with his buddy Artie. Well, he gets hired by Chevy Chase, who's got like broken hands and broken wrists because he's got a gambling problem. And in there he was like talking about all these different failed gambling things. He goes and then he just goes and fucking Mr. T. I just couldn't believe it. And he goes, wait a minute. He goes, you bet on the fight in Rocky, and you bet against Rocky. And he goes, it was Mr. T, and he had already won.
I remember that line now. That's a good one. So let me counter you with this Barrasso fact. You're neglecting the fact that he's a moron. So I mean, like this could also he's an idiot. This is the same man that said TNA could make a strong play to be the number 2 company with a TV deal.
That was a different idiot.
TV deal. I thought that was a different idiot that said that.
That was Justin LaBar.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got my dumb fuck Justin's confused. I'll take the L on that. I'll take the L on that.
Yeah.
I get the dumb fucks in the wrestling media confused sometimes because they're all such schmucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my bad.
Yeah. But I did find that interesting. That they were trying to plug a leak there. It's pretty freaking hilarious. Yeah, it worked because it was all over the place. But look, as you can tell, like Sap never reported it, Dave never reported it, it never made it to the torch. Like I actually went to check because as I was making the original notes for the show, I actually went to the Observer to pull the notes because they paraphrase them better, I think. So I went to go pull those, and there was nothing to be found on the Observer site at all. And the Observer site is an affiliate of Sports Illustrated. Like they work together. So I was like, I assumed that they would co-sign it, but no, they weren't even co-signing that. So that's how far off this was. Like this is just a guy probably getting something single sourced and then just went out on a limb, and looks like a leak got plugged somewhere at some point.
Journalism.
Yeah.
Single source reporting.
Yeah.
Dangerous territory. God, we're surrounded by buffoons. I hope that this weekend they actually do have the presser, just so I can get really mad at all these dipshits who don't have a fucking ball in their body. I hate, like, no. I astound myself with just how much everybody loves their press passes and are so scared that they might not get free tickets to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
We get to play make believe. It's unbelievable.
Dude, I remember being on those old Impact press passes, and I remember I was on one for Slammiversary a couple years ago during the pandemic. And it was on Zoom, and they would call on me, but I would ask real questions because I'm like, I'm not trained in like being fake on these things. So I like everybody else was like asking questions in character, but I was like, maybe I'm just a novice. I didn't know the game, or I'm just too stupid. I don't know what it was, but
self-respect.
So they call me in, and of course, every time I'm about to blow someone's mind, I start with a compliment, right? And Gail Kim is on there, and they got Ross Foreman in the background, and I think Chris Sabin was on. No, it was Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander was on, and I told this great story about the time I met Gail's husband, the chef guy, Robert Irvine. I met him in Afghanistan. He was so nice, and I shook his hand. I was like, hey, where's Gail? And he had a good laugh about that. And they go, great. And I go, hey, when are fans coming back to the arenas? And they all just looked at me like, and then Ross goes, we don't know yet. And then like they go to the next caller. I was like, but that was a big issue at the time. And I was like, it was like 30 minutes into this press pass. I was like guest number 10. Like they're going, like I'm very low on the totem pole. Like they're already going past like WrestleZone and the Miami Herald and all these like legit sites. And here I am from fucking Fight Game with a shitty little Impact podcast. And I go, when are fans coming back? And like, I remember like people DMing me. I'm so glad you asked that question. I was like, why the fuck didn't you ask it? That's an easy question to ask. I just don't understand.
Because people are worried about losing access. That's what it comes to. Is more than anything, these guys, and I'm not going to bury Sam Roberts because Sam Roberts knows what he is, but he wants access. He wants to be able to have these guys on his show And like,
Sam
so
Roberts wants to be a part of the show. He likes being on-air talent for them. He doesn't really. He's a comedian. I don't think he considers himself a journalist. But
no, 100%. But that's what they want to be. There's not enough people that want to be Dave, because being Dave is hard, and Dave faces a lot of criticism. And to Dave's benefit, he didn't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Dave doesn't care. Like but it's a lot easier to be one of those guys who just wants to be part of the show than it is to ask real questions. And wrestling here's the thing: wrestling people have had this adversarial relationship with their fans and with the media since the existence of it. One, wrestling has always been lying to the media from day one, right? It's a work. Right? That was a lie for the longest time. So that's the nature of the relationship between wrestling and the media, right? It goes back to the get-go. So I mean, like, and there's so many people now that want to play in kayfabe, right? Because they want to cosplay that they're part of the show. They don't want to actually get in there and learn something. If something ever happens to Dave, like, we're fucked. We're fucked.